Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. We got a big problem here, my friends. Big problem. Why? Because we have victims attacking victims. So we have, remember those victimhood categories? And we got two of them. They are pretty high. One is actually higher than the other one, but that's the one who perpetrated the crime. I don't know how these guys are going to interpret that. Actually, I know. That's why I'm going to tell you. This article has to do with that shooting in Colorado of some innocent people in a homosexual bar slash gay, they call it. So that's a homosexual bar. People have fun, mind their own business, don't hurt anybody. No problem with that. And an idiot comes in, and the idiot shoots people over there and kills a few and injures some. And then there was a guy who jumped on this idiot and subdued him, and he's in custody, police custody. He was taken to hospital and now he's in jail. Now this guy, surprise, surprise, he is non-binary. That's how he identifies himself. That creates a big problem because of the narrative. Usually the media starts in this kind of circumstances. I mean, whenever mass shooting occurs, obviously we condemn it. And on top of this is a gay bar. So this is a special category. So then you have to be double upset about the whole thing. But the problem is you should be triple upset when the mass media tells you that the shooter is a hater, which probably he is, right? But then you should be another level of hatred that you feel about this criminal is when you find out that he was of a certain kind of group, belongs to a certain kind of group, and had certain kind of ideas that the mass media will tell you he had. Why? Because when he was 13, he read a book, but when he was 19, he read a different one, but we ignored that one. We take which one we like that fits the narrative. So let's see what's going on here. This article comes from Republic World. It's an Indian from India news media outlet from November 23rd, 2022. Defense of the guy who Colorado gay club shooting suspect is non-binary. Shit, it's like you find out this is a Biden family member. What the fuck now? What are we going to do about this? Jesus Christ. That's how the prosecutors and law enforcement are like, shit. Couldn't you just take your cocaine and stay home? You don't have to go in the streets now. The alleged gunman facing possible hate crime charges. Now he faces murder charges. Hate crime charges is different, but they try to put that ahead of the whatever actually happened, because that's how the narrative has to go. Okay, I or whomever can hate how much they want. Don't put that in practice. When you put it in practice and you break the law, now that's a crime right there. I wouldn't call it hate crime. I'm against that kind of term, because who determines what hate is? I think people hate me because I'm so fantastic. So if someone talks ugly to me and tells me, hey, Emil, you're not all that, my pussy hurts and I'm going to go and report them and it's going to be charged with hate crime? Is that in my fucking brain? Unless that person really acts, and besides, as I said, he hates me for something that I have in my head, imaginary. I'm a genius, man. I'm fantastic, and someone tells me, I mean, you're a piece of crap. Pussy hurts, let's go. Excuse me, I would like to report this one. It hurts so badly. Anyway, so that's why I do not like this so-called hate crime whatever they are, policies and whatever they call them, laws, but they're not really laws. But anyway, whatever they do it, I disagree, because it's subjective and that could be interpreted. And who is the person interpreting it? Me, who got hurt, my pussy hurt? Is me? If it's me, I'm gonna call everybody a hate criminal, because they don't see me as a genius that I see myself as. So anyway, it says here that possibly hate crime charges in the fatal shooting of 5 people at the Colorado Spring gay nightclub is non-binary. We're in fucking deep trouble here. The suspect's defense team says in court filing. The alleged gunman facing possible hate crimes. There you go. In several standard motion filed on behalf of Anderson Lee Aldrich on Tuesday, public defenders referred to the suspect as MX Aldrich, noting that footnotes that Aldrich, 22, is non-binary and use they-them pronouns. The motion deals with issues like unsealing documents, blah, blah, blah. All right. Well, Aldrich was beaten into submission by patrons. It was a guy who jumped on him, and he was in Iraq 4 times or something, and he didn't have a problem beating this kind of weasel. And we don't condone that kind of behavior, but we really... anyway. So, what are we going to do about it? Because we got this guy who's a non-binary, which means he's a very protected special victim. Now he committed this crime against another victim group, right? Very high. But the non-binary is a new one that supersedes, it goes above. The homosexuals and gays nowadays are lower than trans, and this guy is non-binary and zugu-dugu, hapa-hapa, tsopo-tsopo. So they lose their little, they're like down on the list. Now, remember this guy, if they find that this guy, at one point in his, as I said, if he would have been a heterosexual, white, whatever, we would still consider it as a crime, an idiot, a criminal, which that's what he is. But the mass media would have looked to see where in his little 22 years of lifespan, the guy read something or wrote something, somewhere that they can pick and put it next to white supremacists, white this, racist this. Look for it. This is just an observation by patterns that I observed. So now they're gonna look at this guy and somehow erase the non-binary, which has nothing to do with it. I mean, but maybe the guy was upset with those guys because of that reason. Now, what are we gonna do about it? Because remember here, when you commit a mass murder, whatever, or you use a gun, that's the gun, and the guy must have ideas of a certain kind. So they associate that with this. They pinpoint the reason based on whatever they want to pinpoint it. So I'm wondering what they're going to find about this guy, because they have to cover the non-binary. How? They're going to erase that, and they're going to be focused on something else. Probably he read a little booklet when he was 16, and that's what inspired him. It's not the gun anymore. Maybe the gun will also helps. It's not his thing. No, his ideas or his orientation has nothing to do with it. But as I said, this guy was part of a militia somewhere. Done. So they pick and choose. I wonder how these guys are going to jump around this shit that just came out. And again, the homosexuals didn't do anything, obviously, and even if they did something, that's not what in a civilized society people act. But you have criminals, and that is criminals. And believe me, if he didn't have this, he would have had he would have used something else in a different context, because it's not the means that commit crime, and that comes from what you get out of certain circumstances. And if the circumstances are over there, then you just how should I put it? You trigger certain kind of things in people's head, and that can be triggered. The thing is, you act upon those or not. Because let's put it nicely, I'm gonna be not nicely, I'm gonna be straight. You walk down the street, and you see an attractive woman interacting with you or going around. What do you think about? You think about her shoe size? I don't think so. If she's with a nice lady, you think, oh, what a beautiful woman here. You don't think about, oh, whatever, I wonder what's her IQ. That's not the first thought that we men usually have. And then some of us may think even further, if you know what I mean, and further and further. We might have different kind of thoughts after the little contact that we had. Hey, how are you? Good. And you move on and you think, and your brain might, go and wander around. Is that a crime? No, until those thoughts that you have or might have, turn into action, which is, I don't know, you know what I mean. Trying to force her into some actions that, as I said, forced, because you would like to have a little love in, and she might say no. But in your imagination, you can afford imagining whatever you want, criminal or non-criminal. The problem is it becomes criminal when you act upon that. Until then, it is what it is. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.